This is a macro tube. A macro tube turns your ordinary lens into a macro lens. If you want to get into macro photography but don't have the money to purchase a macro lens, macro tubes are a great alternative. These macro tubes from PhotoDiox cost me only $13 and work amazingly well. These specific macro tubes are for Canon EOS cameras, but there are many different alternatives on Amazon for whatever brand of camera you use. For this Canon extension tube set, you have a 7mm, 14mm, and 28mm tube. You can combine these tubes however you'd like to get a higher level of magnification. Depending on the combination you use of macro tubes, you can get closer and farther from your subjects. If you use all the macro tubes together, you'll get a more intensified zoom and will be able to get closer to your subject. So here's a few examples of macro photography I've taken with the macro tubes, and as you can see, you get a great quality and detail. I suggest using something like an 18 to 55mm, which is usually most cameras' kit lens. Why I suggest this is because you can use both the zoom of the camera as well as the focus ring to adjust the focus on whatever you're capturing in camera. I usually shoot with a 50mm, but I don't like shooting macro photography with a 50mm because I only have the focus ring when shooting macro photography, where the 18 to 55mm gives me much better options. One thing I definitely suggest to many filmmakers out there is using these macro tubes for video. I think you can use these tubes to add depth to your videos and get more detail to really make your videos stand out. Overall, macro tubes have been a great addition to my filmmaking and photography kit. They're a cheap alternative to macro lenses and still put out a great quality. It is also nice to note that if you do end up dropping these or breaking them, they were cheap, so it's easy to replace. It's very easy to just throw those macro tubes in your car or in your bag and then take them with you, so I really do suggest you try out macro tubes for yourself, and if you are interested in getting macro tubes for yourself, there will be a link in the description where you can purchase them. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.